There's a lot of different ways to make a couple of dollars while watching your favorite sport, but Underdog Fantasy is one of the best ones. It's arguably my favorite. And if you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You just come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen, you string a few of them together, and you have made some money. It is a ton of fun. It is super easy, and they will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog and use promo code WWP. You get the free money, you build yourself a couple of entries, and you hopefully make a couple of bucks. It is super fun, it is super easy, and it's every single sport. I'm going to focus very squarely, not only on UFC, but specifically UFC Mexico. But you can see here, we obviously have college basketball. The NBA is a thing for another couple of months. Baseball, it exists. Nobody gives a shit until September, but you get the drift. It's all the sports. You can mix and match sports. You can mix and match lines. You can work as big or as small of an entry as you would like. Get the free money. Get the free money. Promo code WWP. Let's go ahead and dive in. I told you I'm going to focus on UFC Mexico here. There's a lot of lines I really like. The reason, and I'm saying this as genuinely as possible, the reason I like Underdog Fantasy more than some other products in similar space is the fact that Underdog Fantasy has a lot of different choices. It's just not strikes, time. You have options for, are they going to win by finish? Which finish? How many minutes? And now they have added the ability to adjust fight minutes. I can say, you know what? I don't think 25 minutes is quite, I don't know if we're going to get out of the, third round. And you can go ahead and make whatever adjustments you want. So, frankly, super flexible. Let's go ahead and build that entry. I've got 4 lines I like here. I wish they had the lower on Steve Erceg by finish. And you know what? By the time you're watching this, you may get that. I am filming this Thursday night. I checked Wednesday, we didn't have a lot of lines. I checked early Thursday, we didn't have a lot of lines. So I had to wait till Thursday night. Come Saturday, you might have more lines or more options, but the numbers might not be as favorable. It's always a delicate balance. Let's go ahead and dive in. Drew Dober. I'm going to do the higher on the 5 fight minutes. I know both of these gentlemen have a lot of first round finishes. I know that. I've seen fights before. I know how to look at data and statistics. I do, however, think 5 minutes is probably a solid line. We are at elevation. Manuel Torres is very, very long, and I think there's going to be some feeling out here. I don't think Drew Dober is going to come in guns blazing. I don't think Manuel Torres is going to full-blown engage early. I think they're going to play in the range a little bit, feel each other out, get a feeling for the situation at hand. And I think they get out of the first round, then maybe in the second round will get after it. So I do like the higher on the 5 fight minutes. I'm not touching the finish lines on either side because either one of these guys can finish. Either one. But if you're looking at it, what I do like to do is the lower on a lot of these finish lines. I'm not going to do it here, but I do like to do that, and we do have one in a minute that I will show you. If we go down to Joe Pyfer, I'm doing the same thing. Listen, Joe Pyfer's a striker. I know he can wrestle. We've seen it. I know he's teammates with Sean Brady. I get it. But Joe Pyfer's a striker. And I think Joe Pyfer will win this fight. And I think he will win this fight striking. What I don't think is he'll knock out Kelvin Gastelum. Nobody's done it before. And I don't think Joe's going to be the guy. Kelvin Gastelum's head is made out of a fire hydrant. You ever hit a refrigerator with a baseball bat? Did the fridge give a fuck or did it just keep cool and shit? And that's exactly what we're going to get here with Kelvin. You can hit him as hard as you want. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. Your hand is hurt more than his face when you hit him. That's just the reality of Kelvin Gastelum. Does that mean he's going to win the fight? No, of course not. I think Joe is going to win. But I do think this is going a little bit long. Joe is tough, so Joe will take his beating if things go a complete 180 of how we think they'll go. But I don't think this fight's going to end by finish. So we're going to go ahead and do the higher than 14 fight minutes. You can do the lower on a finish, right? You can say, all right, if I do the lower on Joe Pyfer to win by finish, this accounts for Joe getting finished. This accounts for Joe winning a decision. This accounts for Joe losing a decision. So doing the lower on Joe by finish accounts for more things than just doing on the higher on the fight minutes, but it's also a lower payout. So for the 0.08x on my money, I'll just do the higher on fight minutes. If you want a little bit of insurance, do the lower on a finish. If we work our way down, we have UFC newcomer David Martinez. And I was pleasantly surprised that him to win by finish is a juiced line, 1.12x, which means we're obviously going to get more money back, as we always do. The 1x on the money, you put in $10, you get your 10 back, and then another 10, right? You get 20. That's kind of what that means. And now another 12% on that juice. And I'll take the extra 12% juice because I think David Martinez wins this fight by finish. He's fighting Simon Oliveira. I don't know if you have seen a Simon Oliveira fight. He sucks. He also hasn't fought in 2 years. And not only has he not fought in 2 years, the guy's been battling some like major medical issues during that time. I think David Martinez is good. Is he the most dangerous guy in the division? No. Is he dangerous enough to win this fight? Yes. We've had a lot of hype prospects get smoked this year. A lot of UFC newcomers not achieve what they were supposed to. Luckily for David, he's not fighting an established guy. He's fighting Simon Oliveira, coming off a 2-year layoff, coming out of one of the worst performances we've ever seen. Simon Oliveira is not going to win this fight, and I'm going to take the extra bit of juice here and cross my fingers that David Martinez is going to finish him. And I'm going to do the exact opposite on the next fight. I'm going to hope that MarQuel Mederos does not finish Austin Hubbard. Because the reality is, I think MarQuel Mederos is good. I think he's technical. He can strike. He can do all the things. MarQuel Mederos is a very good fighter. Austin Hubbard is just a very durable fighter. He'll move forward. He'll stay in your face. Austin Hubbard's forward pressure could be uncomfortable. Austin Hubbard's volume can be uncomfortable. Austin Hubbard's sort of in-your-face style can be uncomfortable. So I think MarQuel Mederos wins. But in case he loses, or even he puts a beating on Austin who doesn't get finished, because Austin's a pretty hard guy to finish, we're accounted for here with the lower on a half a finish. I do not think MarQuel Mederos wins this fight by finish. Those are the 4 lines I like the most. Here's a quick little peek for you. If you want to go to Rivals, what Rivals does is it gives you the fighters who are fighting each other, and you just say who's going to get more of that thing. Drew Dober, Manuel Torres, you pick whoever's going to get the finish. Who do you think is going to land more strikes in the main event? Brandon Moreno or Steve Erceg? And they're giving Steve Erceg a 17.5 strike head start. Rivals always has some solid lines. You can find a spot or two. They're giving Kelvin a 9.5 strike head start in his matchup with Joe Pyfer. I'm going to stick with my entry here. Let's go ahead and take one more look. We've got 4 legs. We have David Martinez more than a half a finish. MarQuel Mederos lower than a half a finish. Drew Dober higher than 5 fight minutes, and Joe Pyfer higher than 14 fight minutes. This is my entry. If you want to build your own, but get your free money. Let them give you free money. Take that free money and use it. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.